What you see here, well, two things before I get to the dog. That's our cat, Fluffy. Say hello, Fluffy. Look. Hello, Fluffy. He is a guest for our show. This is exciting. Hey, friends, it's Troy, your hourly flipper. I've got a field trip of sorts I'm going to share with you, and we're going to learn 3 things from my experiences that hopefully will help you as you go through your resale journey. I'm out of my garage, as you can tell, and I want to show you what I picked up a few days ago by just finding something online. So let's look. All right. My garage doesn't usually look like this, but what we've got is the remnants of a yard sale that they just announced. Hey, come get this stuff for free. And I would think that there were like 500 movies. Those totes, all movies. Here are some sets, boxed sets that are still in the plastic. This is Stargate SG-1. There's Little House on the Prairie. There's just Blue Collar Comedy Tour. Things that are pretty diverse, and it's just an incredible opportunity to just go and pick up stuff just for free. 2 fun things at this yard sale. I came through and said, hey, is this for free? Is this free? And they said, yes, because I thought there would be something in the box, but it is completely empty. And I thought, I picked it up, and they said, well, we've got about 50 more of those if you would like them. And I said, absolutely, free shipping supplies. Along the same vein, there's all of this wrapping paper, and tissue paper makes great packing paper to just fill in dead spaces. Got a letter opener that is a Pegasus letter opener, a big notebook full of CDs, and just it goes on and on and on. A silver set that they just gave away, some Legos. My gosh. So that was pretty wonderful. The takeaway from this is if you have a local selling group, make sure to have all notifications on for that, whether it's on Facebook or Instagram or whatever selling group you may use, because you're never going to have much time when opportunities like this come up. And they have incredible opportunities sometimes, like what I was lucky enough to get here. All right, now I'm going to leave the garage and go downstairs. All right, I'm downstairs in our storage room, and I want to show you my death pile. Okay, let's look around. All of that is stuff that is going to be listed real soon. I keep telling my wife that. And they're good things. That's tip number 2. What I want you to think about is have a dedicated space specifically for your eBay stuff. It should not be too big or not too small. Your perfect size in your house. Is it in an apartment in a spare bedroom or a closet in a bedroom? I don't know. I'm lucky enough to have a whole storage room that was given to me from family to store this kind of stuff. Up in the garage, what we saw, that was the staging area that just comes in when we come out of the car from the different sales, and all of that's there for us to just set for a second until it actually comes down here outside of everybody's way. That's why we're in the basement here. What I'm going to do next is pull some of my prize items from the death pile to let you see what I look for when I'm going to my sale. So I'm not going to be at a specific sale showing you what I pick up and think about, but these are things that are the things I bought, and I'm going to list and tell you why I bought them. So stay right there. For you, it's just going to be a second. For me, it may be 5 or 10 minutes. All righty. I've picked out the best of the lot in there, and I want to talk you through the maybe 10 things that I want to talk about with a recommendation at the end. All right. I want this to be fun for you, just like it was fun for me. Oh, really, Mr. Dog? Yes, Mr. Troy. Good to see you. Good to see you too. All right. What you see here, well, 2 things before I get to the dog. That's our cat, Fluffy. Say hello, Fluffy. Look. Hello, Fluffy. He is a guest for our show. This is exciting. Back to the dog, okay? As soon as you give a cat attention, they move right on, don't they? All right. In a bin of 50-cent plush at a sale, this was in there. Large plushes were $2. The small ones were 50 cents. This was not a plush. It is, of course, a puppet from the 90s under the Disney brand. And right now on eBay, there are about 2 of them selling for $35. So it's light, okay to ship, and it's going to hurt me to get it in the mail away and not something that occupies me as we're just sitting here reading. You may notice I'm wearing a hat. I hope I didn't surprise you when I said that. But this is an original Panama Jack Pant. I put a T on it. Panama Jack hats. And got this for $1. They maybe didn't know it was an original Panama hat. That's going to be $11. That's a way to just increase it. I'm going to get some of those boxes from up there, ship it when it sells, and that's going to make me about $7 profit just on taking a couple of pictures. Let's see what's next here. Every time you see a VHS rewinder, pick it up if it's $2 or less. And usually on the last day of sales, people don't want them, but they're not making them anymore. And they can be anywhere from $10 to $20. Speaking of from $10 to $20, this is a Lolita brand margarita glass. And inside the box, they go anywhere from $10 to $20. If you see the telltale round tall box, get it for under $2, and they go from $10 to $20. Something that I like inside the box is it does have the UPC code, and you just scan that, it's listed, and we're good to go. All right, let's see what's next here. Tony Hawk. This isn't a big profit item, but when you can take 2 or 3 pictures of it and get $5, this is worth just picking up and paying a quarter for. At the end of an estate sale, I went to a bedroom and they had all of these shirts that had just come from the dry cleaners and were packed like this. And there were really like 250 of them. And the sale was practically over. I said, would you take $50 for all of them? And they said, yes. These are designer shirts, like from so-and-so of London, and the shirt shop of London. I don't know. I can't remember the name. And I'm not up on high fashion, but it was a physician's home that they had enough shirts that they had a closet full hanging and shirts that they haven't hung up from the cleaner. Those I'm putting in bundles of 5 and I'm listing them for 20. And again, I paid, let's do some math here right on the spot. I paid $50 for about 250. So they're, it's a quarter piece, something like that. And lots of 5 for 20, they're about $4 a piece. So that's, 8xing my money. That's really good. And I just have to take 2 pictures of each front and back since they're in the packages and they're selling okay. I put them in a poly bag and send them on. This is fun. Do you all, where you live, have Papa John's? I was at a estate sale that the person was what do you call it when you put the printer, I guess, but it's some kind of heat printing. I can't remember. Promotional items, those kinds of things. And luckily they had the contract for Papa John's, these, pizza bags. You may see the price tag right there. It's upside down. $5. They had 4 of them and I bought 4 of them for $5. And just look them up yourselves. They're about $25. That's a great way to, that's 5Xing my investment. And those are relatively light. I'm going to put them in the same poly bag as I would those shirts. And they're going to go. It's going to be a great thing there. Let's keep going. This last thing is kind of fun. This is an awkward shaped item. And I say kind of fun because it's actually not. Do you know what this is? Have you seen one before? It was not an estate sale. It was actually an auction at a pet shop that was going out of business. And this is a doggy urn. You put your pet's picture right there. They're cremated ashes in, and it is a great item for putting on your mantle if you're very attached to your animal. Not like, I better not talk too much with Fluffy still in earshot, okay? But those sell really well. There were 2 boxes of different things that they didn't know what to do with, and I paid $20 for the whole box. And I've made 60 from 2 items, and now I'm getting ready to list pet urns. There were 4 of them in there. I think they go for something like 25 or so a piece. All right. A fun thing. Here is an advent calendar. No, excuse me, 12 days of socks. So it's not an advent calendar, but it's socks inspired by the television show Friends. All right. So that's pretty fun. That was a buck on a table. And, again, that's pretty fun. I think it's something like just $8 to $12, but again, it was fun to pick up. I was disappointed with how much it actually listed for, but I wasn't at a place with Sell Signal to really test it. I had a feeling, and it turned out not to be great. All right. All that said, here's the last point. I showed you several different things, and there were some odd sizes to all of that. I mentioned the poly bag for the larger items, all those different boxes that I had to keep for there. That's because I'd picked up things that were interesting without much regard for my hourly nature. Let me grab you a few things, okay? This is going to be the last thing we talk about. You may not be surprised about what I'm going to talk about. I've got a few stacks of books. Here is a Fannie Farmer cookbook, originally from 1896, but this is a like new edition that's gold leaf. So that I paid $1.59 for at Goodwill. That will easily be wrapped up, and I can put it into a box, or depending on how much it sells for, just a bubble mailer, send it out. I think that is $15. Here's another $15 item. It is a paperback, but it's one of those quality paperbacks that I talk about. Deliverance from Stupid Party Land. Neat. Then there's 2 vintage items here. The movie King Kong came out, and I think it was 1976 or 8. Is that right? One of the 2. And this is a picture book based on that movie. And there's not a UPC symbol because they didn't exist back then. This is something that's just neat to have. I don't know what its ultimate value is going to be. It could be 6 or 7, but this was in a quarter book item along with this one from maybe your childhood, a Winnie the Pooh book that really is from back in the day. It's a Hallmark book, and it was worth me getting. I did look that up. I can't remember what it is now, but I'm sure I'm going to be able to at least 8x my 50-cent spend. Okay. Those were about the same size and about the same shape. I can buy supplies that would ship this, and I could also ship this. And those other books have consistent shapes, consistent weights. They're shipping as a special media mail. It's fun to look at these other things, but when I think of my bread and butter items, I think about something where I can easily list it and get it out my door. Books are that for me. Now, they're interesting books nonetheless, but still books. Put that in your pipe. So have a dedicated space, sell books, and keep your groups active and look at them. Join selling groups in your area, regardless of the social media platform, and monitor them for the free giveaways. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Rather than saying like, subscribe, do all the things, here's what I want you to do. If you're a new person to this channel, I want you to subscribe. Please just click the subscribe button. If you are already a subscriber, thank you so much. Have a great rest of the day. So long.